Hey, Outlaws fam, it's Brandon Kyle Goodman here, aka your messy mom, and I have something new for you. So, season 2 of Tell Me Something Messy is officially here. So, every Thursday, I sit down with brilliant and hilarious guests like Abby Jacobson, Duran Bernard, Atsuko Okatsuka to talk relationships, sex, identity with zero judgment, but all heart and all joy. Plus, on Mondays, we'll drop Messy Mom minis to kickstart your week. So, after you listen to this episode of Outlaws, come join me for the mess. Season 2 of Tell Me Something Messy is streaming now on the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. I love you. Mwah!
Hey, y'all, is it on? Is it on? Is this thing recording? What's up, YouTube land, Twitter land, Instagram land, Snapchat, Grindr, Scruff, and all those other places that I done said over the years, honey? This is T.S. Madison coming to you loud, live, and in color from the Outlaws podcast with T.S. Madison on iHeart Radio. This podcast is a podcast that is dedicated to everything. Honey, if you can think it, name it. We can do it over here. We can talk to it. We can talk about it. We have some of the most interesting guests to come through on this podcast to share their stories. And the reason why this podcast is called Outlaws is because in some way, shape, form, or fashion, these people have done some stuff that got everybody looking for them. They're wanted. Or they just been banned in the USA. That means they're gay. Okay? No, that doesn't really mean that, but it might. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is a very handsome, sexy writer, producer, artist, and polyamorous person.
How dare you? How dare you put that in my bio like this?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my good friend, Brandon Kyle Goodman.
Hi.
Brandon.
Maddie, how you doing?
I ain't seen you since the special that we did for Logo.
I know, and now we nominated.
And we are nominated for a GLAAD Award. Hell, by the time this plays, we might have won a GLAAD Award.
Okay, let's affirm that.
I just want to say I'm very happy to always include you or be included in anything with you because I'm never going to stop saying this. You're probably going to think I'm hitting on you every time I say it. I think that you are so sexy. You ooze sex. You're a very attractive man. And what's so crazy about it is that you identify as, do you identify as gay?
Yeah, I identify as gay and non-binary and queer and all the things.
How does that work? How does
what piece of it?
How does being gay, non-binary, queer, and poly? How does all of that work?
It works beautifully like this. You see?
No. I mean, in today's climate, especially with the orange tornado saying that,
it's very difficult and it's very scary. And it's very terrifying because I think there are bands and things coming across kind of all those identities. There are people who are mad at all those identities and the hate is just getting louder. Like the comments have shifted. Like people are coming in talking about mental issues and you need help and you need this. And it's like, okay. So it's hard, but I have people like you and I have other people who I look up to and who I value and who I'm in community with who just remind me that I'm not alone. I think when we think we're the only ones, that's when we kind of get to lose ourselves. When we remind ourselves that there are other people out here who are collectively forging the path forward, who are collectively resisting, who are collectively pushing ahead, then you feel more hopeful. Because Maddie, if you on my team, we whooping their ass. Okay,
we're whooping ass. Oh, we're whooping ass.
Okay,
but it is very scary the climate that we're living in right now because the president of the United States has took it upon himself to use his executive orders to not only not pay attention to the real crises that's going on in the country, but to, in the same stroke of a pen, infringe on people who are not bothering anyone.
Like literally.
as a queer, non-binary, polyamorous, sexy man,
Yes.
pronouns.
Hmm.
What are we still, with all this stuff going on in the world, are we still adhering to pronouns?
I mean, yeah, yes. I don't know if they are, but I am and we are. My pronouns are still they, them, theirs. But also my pronouns are whatever is said with respect. And I feel like the way that we get through is honoring each other. So I'm still using pronouns. I'm still asking people what their pronouns are, asking what they want to be called, using whatever name you tell me to use. Like I'm still uphold respect and love in my community.
Okay, so I made a mistake in my intro. It should have been they, them, theirs.
They, them, theirs. A sexy person.
A sexy person.
A sexy
Got
person.
it. I told somebody the other day, I was in a grocery store. It's like, honey, they said, I was like, honey, excuse me, my pronouns are them, they, she.
Oh, yes.
That means it encompasses all. It encompasses them, they, and she.
And she, yes, it's me. Okay, period. Yeah, it's like, it truly is whatever pronouns as long as it's used with respect. But what I love is they, them. It feels like it encompasses the full power and gravitas of who I would like to be and who I am.
I want to talk about, in the top of this show, who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And not just who you are. I want to talk about your origin story.
Oh, yeah.
And how did you come to be who you are, and what eureka moment shaped the path that you are on today? Because I know in your career you have done, well, I'll let you tell me.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell me. So what's your origin story? Tell me about a turning point or an experience, a source of inspiration, or a eureka moment that shaped the path you are on today.
Can I be honest? It's Sister Act 2. I always go back to Sister Act 2 and Whoopi Goldberg and Lauryn Hill and Sheryl Lee Ralph in that movie because as a kid, when I first saw that movie, and that movie was really about like, if you want to be a singer, when you wake up in the morning, you can't think about nothing but singing first, you're supposed to be a singer. And I really wanted to be in this entertainment industry, and there just wasn't examples, a lot of examples of Black folks, let alone Black queer folks in the industry. But it was this thing that was on my heart that I wanted to act, I wanted to write, and I wanted to perform. And the summer between my freshman and sophomore year, I went to NYU, and I came home for that summer, and every night, I would pop in the DVD of Sister Act 2 every single night. Sometimes I finished it, sometimes I didn't. But it was that constant reminder that like whatever is on your life, whatever calling is on your life, you have to pursue. Even if, because in that movie, Sheryl Lee Ralph is like, you can't be singing. Even if your mother, even if it's your own family that tells you can't do a thing. And so that I think really shaped me, which like reminded me, what do you want? What's on your heart? If it's the only thing you could think about, then that's probably what you meant to do. And so that just catapulted me into this career of writing and of acting and talking and sharing of myself. And what I've been just trying to do my entire career is just find my most authentic voice, because if you're in the same industry as me, they will try and tell you what you are and what you can't be. And you are a prime example of defying that and of not being put in the boxes. And to go back to what we were just talking about, that's why they're so angry. Because we, especially as queer folks, as trans folks, as non-binary, gender non-conforming, are not existing in their boxes, and they are mad about it, upset about it, because they are in their boxes, and they think that we need to be in there with them, and that's not gonna happen, babies. That's not gonna happen.
And it's with the stroke of my pen. I've done a lot of things too, Donald J. Trump.
Come on,
with the stroke of my pen.
Yeah,
Tell us who you've written for and what you. That's what I want you to get down to.
So I
get into the professionalism
of things. Stuff. Okay. So I wrote on Big Mouth for a few seasons, season 4 through 7. I also voiced on the show. So I played the character Walter the Love Bug, was on the spinoff Human Resources, which I got to be a series regular on and also write on. I have my stage show, Ho Church, which is basically my a big sex ed class in the framework of a church and how I became sexually liberated. And Ho, I spell, and a lot of us spell H-E-O-U-X. And my definition for it is someone who commits to the sexual liberation of themselves and others by thoughtfully interrogating their relationship to sex using curiosity, communication, and compassion.
Oh, so that's why I'm a hoe.
Yes, that's why you a hoe. That's what makes a real hoe. Okay, a hoe. The French hoe. Okay.
The French hoe.
It's fancy. Okay.
You know, it's a fancy hoe. Hoax.
And I'm also currently co-hosting a new show for E, a little pop culture recap show for all the award shows called Recap with the E in the middle. So I get around and I have my podcast, Tell Me Something Messy, which our intention there is to destroy shame around sex by talking about sex. You were a guest, the second guest on the show.
Yes.
You know? So we talk to celebs, we talk to sexperts, I talk to my chosen family, just about the different facets of being a human and what makes us kind of messy and how do we normalize that as opposed to trying to, again, fit into boxes or hide who we are. How can we be who we are in our fullness? Liberate yourself.
I just can't get into. I don't try to fit in. I just go in.
And it's working for you, ain't it?
I just go right in.
And you go right in, and it's working for you.
Spit and go in.
Come on. Just all you need is a little bit of spit, and you go right in.
Move out the way.
Period.
So, as a queer person, how difficult was it to navigate? Because Big Mouth was on Netflix. How difficult was it to navigate through that or get in that space? Because, you know, especially with all this DEI stuff that's been rolled back, you know, in the world. How difficult was that for you?
Yeah, you know, I'll say Big Mouth is a gem of a show because they really do value the opinions of a lot of diverse voices, whether that's about your race, your gender, your sexual orientation. And so, you know, and you see that on the show, we really try to represent as many stories as we can. But getting into the industry, getting into a writer's room is a really difficult thing when you are Black, when you're queer, when you're brown, you're Asian, you're a woman. I always say in any of these writers' rooms, if you see somebody who is not a straight white man in that room, like they're a miracle. Okay, like that's probably one of the best writers or best creators in that space because the system is not, Hollywood is not set up for us to succeed. So when you see one of us out here doing the thing, that's a big fucking deal.
I don't think people really understand that.
They don't. They see you and they think, oh, it's like, no, there's a lot that you're navigating. And then once you are in the space, a lot of times it's just a lot of straight white folks. And so you're constantly, you know, having to pick which battles you're about to fight because you want to, you know, gain more success, but you don't want to compromise your integrity, but you also want to make sure you're kind of left to represent the entire community, which is not fair because Black folks, queer folks are not a monolith. And so there's just a lot more mental aerobics that are going on. I think and I'll speak for myself as just a Black queer artist, there's just a lot more mental aerobics going on to keep yourself grounded while you navigate a system that isn't built for you, you know, that as we can see with these DEI rollbacks doesn't really value you at base. If it's not making money, suddenly we don't want to do it, right? The DEI came because it was making people money to say that they cared. Now that it's not, they show us who they really are, which is they don't give a fuck.
No, they don't. They never have.
They never have. It's not surprising.
It's just like never have. And I see Target was using the term belonging now. It's you know.
Oh, what? Tell me.
Oh, yeah. It's called belonging.
That's how they're describing it?
It's belonging.
Oh, okay. Wow. Belonging to what?
The group.
To the group. Okay. Do we belong? I've seen a little bit of the backlash that's going on with that, and I don't know anymore. I'm so confused, but I'm not gonna shop there. So there we go.
Are you afraid? Like with all this stuff that's going on with the removal of diversity protections and, you know, all this crap that means absolutely nothing for the betterment of our country. Are you afraid?
Of course. I feel like anyone who says they're not afraid isn't plugged in. And I think that we need time to be afraid so that we can actually figure out what are the next steps. I'm definitely afraid and scared. I'm not hopeless. I'm not like in despair. But yeah, I mean, this is scary. We've worked, our ancestors have worked. There's been a lot of work that, you know, for you and I to sit here as we are confident, comfortable, successful people takes a lot, right? Just when there are rights. And so the idea that the rights can be taken away and people can feel emboldened and empowered to hate and to discriminate is terrifying. Because, listen, I went to Amsterdam a year ago, and one of the things that I noticed when I came back was I didn't see any police until I was back in the airport, and they were like on some little scooter and weren't doing nothing. And I was like, oh my goodness, for a whole week that I've been here, I have not had to navigate police presence. I have not had, and how much more was I able to breathe, not worried about like, is somebody gonna mistake me for, or is somebody gonna come after me for, or somebody, and then I came back, I landed in New York, and the first thing I saw were police. And I'm from New York, and you don't play with NYPD, right? You don't play with LAPD. Like, as a Black person, you immediately tense up. And so that existed under Obama. That existed under Biden, right? Like, that tension never went anywhere, but there might have been a little bit of ease. But now that you got somebody who's literally raising their platform, right? Literally saying, yeah, we're not going to investigate any discrimination. We're not like that becomes terrifying. Now every time I drive, now I'm driving the car that much more scared. Of course. How could you not be? If you are tapped in and clued in and got an ounce of consciousness of what's going on, it is scary. And what's even scarier are the people who don't think it's scary. And that's why they're not fighting on our behalf. That's why they voted for him. The people who are in our families or in our communities who secretly voted for him or who loudly voted for him and we're like, it's okay, it'll be fine, nothing's gonna happen. Project 2025, that's not a real thing. And you're like, yeah, it is.
And then you start seeing Project 2025
in action
unfold day one.
Come on, day one.
And it's just like, girl, so you mean to tell me that you really didn't think that any of this was possible?
You didn't think this was possible? You didn't see January 6th? You didn't think, and you
didn't see that?
You thought you were coming here unifying? What are you talking about?
Here's the thing, it's a vote for him, to me, spoke to the evils in people's hearts.
Absolutely.
It spoke to the evils. Okay, let's say you don't have a problem with trans people, but you have a problem with immigrants. Legal people are being locked up.
Anything that infringes on anyone's rights, anything that tells somebody they can't be who they are, or they don't belong here, or they're not.
Yeah.
That's you. There's something in your heart that's off. Right?
If you say someone like, nah, I kind of agree with that. You have to check yourself.
Absolutely.
I was talking to a lot of my friends who are cisgender, heterosexual, Black men that were telling me, oh, the Constitution is gonna. I said, sweetheart, you're a Black man.
Come on.
You're a Negro.
Come on.
And your ancestors fought diligently and hard and died.
Gave their blood, gave their lives.
On the street.
Come on.
And you easily sit back and say, I'm not voting. I'm not getting involved in that. And then with the stroke of a pen, no more Black History Month.
Yeah.
And you're not sitting here like, wow, I could have done something.
It's a privilege to disconnect like that, and it's the conversations that we don't have, which is, and we feel this, and I know a Black trans woman, a Black trans person feels this the most, but it's like when you're a cisgender Black man, you are one removed from the most powerful. When you are a gay white man, you are one removed from the most powerful. And what we don't talk about, and this is without judgment or whatever, is the nuance of, you're so close to the number one power seat in our patriarchal structure that it's easier for you to disconnect from supporting those who are not as you go after the fantasy of, I could be just as powerful, right? We've seen, listen, the Nellies and the Snoop Dogs. And respectfully, that went and performed. You're like, why are you doing that? Who does that serve? Who does that help? Who does that support? You can't tell me that you are for me and my rights and then go over here and do that. It just doesn't, respectfully or non-respectfully, however you want to take it, it just doesn't line up.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. The math doesn't math.
A friend of mine, who I still consider my friend, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but they told me, "Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Kamala." But when we've had discussions, I'm like, nah. I don't think that's 100%.
I don't think it's true. Yeah. People telling themselves. They don't realize it,
I'm
but
like,
they be telling themselves.
nah.
How you showing up ain't really.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Because you're in California and the fires have blazed through and have ripped California apart.
Yeah.
And the media showed lots of the wealthy places, like a lot of the mansions or whatever, but they weren't really getting into the communities and showing the communities of people that, are everyday, working class citizens.
Right.
Whose communities were to the ground, like ash.
Altadena, our black communities. Yeah. Yes.
Ash.
Yes.
My friend said Trump came there and he sat down with the governor. He's doing some good thing. I said, no.
What fantasy are you in? Nah, Trump blamed everybody here. What are you talking about?
I said, listen to me. I said, what?
Okay, Quanda, what? Nah.
And then they said, well, it's not. He's doing something good for the. I said,
yeah, please miss me with that.
I said, let's read the article.
Yeah,
the article says he will provide aid based on 2 contingencies. And I said, you don't see anything wrong with your sovereign, your king, your ruler of his people needing assistance. And you're going to give assistance based on contingency when a community of people are hurt. And you say, well, if they don't give me these 2 things, then you're on your own.
We are people are brainwashed. Like, that makes no fucking sense, right? It's batshit.
I was like, so how could someone show their voter ID? It's burned in the house.
Come on.
And who put this conspiracy theory in the heads of these people that somebody just turned water off out there? The demand for water couldn't be kept up because the state, the communities were on fire.
Maybe the communities are on fire. We were not set up for this. The water system, no matter what, is not set up for a firestorm. You know what I'm saying? This is a firestorm, and this is not the time to be divisive. We're talking about contingencies. This is a time which, luckily, LA as a community has rallied together. But you want your leadership to also say, "We got you as well." And for this leadership to be blaming the leadership in LA and saying you didn't do X, Y, and you should, it's like this is not the time. Like, people have across race, class, like, people have lost their entire lives. Some have lost their literal lives, but your home is your life. That's your stability. That's your security. And if you got, you got kids, you got pets, you got your elders, like, people have lost things, and we are debating on contingencies and blaming leaders. This doesn't make any sense. It should be, how do we show up and help? How do we help you rebuild? You are part of this country. You are how do we support you? Period.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, well, you didn't, because it's basically what it boils down to. When I read the article, I was like, so why are you so pressed about voter IDs? So now it's like, okay, well, if you didn't vote for me, because that's what it gives.
Yeah. You ain't vote for me, you ain't gonna get. It's like,
you ain't getting this help.
And so anyone who's like living under this thing, like, oh, he's a great unifier. He's not unifying shit. What you talking about?
Like, what are you saying? And I'm over here like asking my friend, like, what is What are you missing?
Yeah, they're not missing anything. Unfortunately, I think that that's where I have to get to with people, is that they're not missing anything. It's so clear. It's been clear. They don't want to see, and so they are talking around the actual thing, because we are direct people, right? The math is the math. That 1 + 1 = 2, and so if you're looking at it and you're still able to say, "Well, he's a good person," then you're like, okay, then you actually don't want to be plugged in, you don't want to be tapped in, and you are choosing to be ignorant, or you know exactly what's going on and you are choosing to say that you don't, which is, either way is bullshit.
You made an example earlier that I'd like to use, because I'm going to take this back.
Please.
And I'm going to use this example. You
Yeah.
said you're one plugged in. Give me that example from the top. From how did you said
like you're basically one away from the top. Like if you are a straight black man, you are one identity marker away from the top. All you need is to become a white man, right? If you are a white gay man, you got that one identity that's keeping you from the top place.
Well, you have two.
White gay man?
Yeah, because you get rid
of that gay, you're a white man, right?
Or because the black man you can't get rid of the black.
You can't. No, you can't. But I'm saying you're like that. You can't get rid of the gay either. But it's that.
Well, you can hide it.
You can, sure. Yes.
Now you can hide that.
Your masculinity. If you are a mask gay man, sure. But all I'm saying is that there's if I say that you're a black trans woman, you are not one away from that.
No,
top.
I'm not one away at all.
You're not one away from that top, right?
I'm far away.
You're far away. So that's why we see our trans communities are really the shepherd of communities, right? Because they have been y'all have been the most disenfranchised, and so you've learned how to build community and how to lean on each other as opposed to leaning on the government. Whereas some other folks are like, well, I'm almost at that top powerful spot, and instead of going, hey, the whole system is fucked, quite honestly, and how this is working is actually bullshit. They go, let me try and assert my power this way. Let me try and assert my power that way. And so the assertion of power then becomes putting down other folks, right? So a lot of times, even in in the black queer community, I have seen black gay men put down black trans women. And that is like fuckery, right? You're just like, wait, what? But it's because everyone wants to feel their power. And that's the quickest way to feel it, is by putting somebody else down, as opposed to your real power is from within. Your real power is how you love, how you show up for people. Your real power is not something that you have to fight for. It's something that you can, it's an open heart. That is real power.
Now, speaking of real power.
Yes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Come on, talk about it.
And sometimes with the responsibility we have, people view us as a villain.
Come on. They really do.
Now let's get into your villain era.
Yeah.
Every outlaw gets labeled the bad guy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Often when we're just trying to live our truth and do our best.
Yeah.
Now, your villain era could be a time that you stopped people pleasing, a time you stood up for yourself. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you did something that sparked some controversy. Or maybe the world just simply wasn't ready for you. Now, Brandon, what was your villain era and what did you learn from it?
Oh, my villain era has been going on for 15 years.
Oh, it's still going.
It's still going, and it'll go for as long as it needs to, because 15 years ago, my mother became a born-again Christian, and we had to become estranged because I'm queer, and there just wasn't any respect there for it. And that was hard, and I don't say that lightly. I'm an only child. I'm first generation American. My mom is Caribbean from Trinidad, moved here when she was 8. I was raised by her and my grandmother, who also passed 15 years ago. And so this kind of all triggered what happened. And I had to make a really big decision in my early 20s, which was, do I maintain this relationship with my mother that hurts and squash who I am, shrink who I am so that I can fit into the idea that she wants me to be. Because, Black folks, especially Korean Black folks, like your child is your child forever. They could be 40, 50, 60, and they're still your child. And so there's this tendency to feel like you owe your parent the version of yourself that they want you to be. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to have a shot at living a big, expansive, loving, compassionate life. And so that meant setting up a boundary. It meant setting up a guardrail. And that guardrail was we can't have a relationship. If every conversation is going to be about me marrying a woman, if every conversation is about saving my soul, every conversation is going to call me a sin, then that we can't have these conversations anymore. We can't have this relationship anymore. And I say that with ease now because it's been 15 years, but it's still devastating. But if that makes me a villain, which I know it does in her mind, then I am happy to be that villain, because what I've gained on this side of it is a freedom that is unmatched. What I've gained on this side of it is love and community that is unmatched. I wouldn't be sitting here across from you having this conversation if I didn't make that decision, if I wasn't in my villain era, if you will.
Wow. That was a lot for me to absorb.
It's
because
a lot.
I think that most of us who are Black, and not to diminish anybody else's race experience. I mean, I'm Black, so I can talk from the Black experience.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a story for me a bit. And you've met my mother.
Yes.
And my mother loves the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did the special for Logo that we, were nominated for, she came and it was very emotional. The piece was very emotional.
So emotional.
I held myself together because I would have wept.
Oh, we were weeping for you.
I know y'all were weeping.
We were weeping.
I was so, but I cried. But I was like, I can't do this on TV. I can't do this. They can't see me so soft. But it took a while for that to get there.
Yeah.
Watching that, did it give you hope?
Yeah, it was so beautiful to watch that, and obviously for me very personal, because of the experience that I have, and so when your mother was talking about that time, and y'all coming back together, it's like, oh, that has always been the hope, but I realized that I can't spend my life or build my life around that hope. I have to let it be what it is so that I can go live how I need to live and be who I need to be. And then if that relationship comes back, it comes back authentically because I'm not shape-shifting myself to make that dream come true. I'm being my full authentic self. And then if my mother decides, hey, like I see it and I still want this relationship or I want this relationship, then there's a real bridge that we can build towards each other. But if I am moving from a space that like one day, like there was a point where I thought I would have kids and I was like, oh, when I have kids, then my mom will want to be in their life. And so then this will heal. The reality is I don't want kids, but the idea of having kids stayed with me for so long because there was part of me that thought, oh, that will fix it. That will heal us. And so if I did go ahead and have kids, I would have been in a very inauthentic relationship with myself. I would have been a parent, which I didn't want to be, but it would have been to create this relationship. And then it still would have been built on something false. So the best thing I could do for myself is to be as authentic to myself and as true to myself as I can, live as free as I can, talk my shit as loud as I can. And then if my mother says, yes, I still want to be a part of that, then beautiful. And if not, I have to make peace with the fact that that's a relationship that won't exist. But again, I don't want to underplay or diminish how sad that is, because it is, of course, sad for me that my mom was my best friend. Like, again, a single mom to an only child, like it's a different kind of bond. It's a different kind of relationship. So it's sad, but I also can see all the mothers I've gained, all the siblings I've gained, all the community that I've gained by when something comes out of your life, they say God makes a new way. You know what I'm saying? Like God puts back in whatever you need. And so I really believe that that a path has been forged for more love to show up, for expansive love to show up, for people who show up for me as I am, who do not require me to shrink myself, who don't require me to shape shift. They don't require me. They actually encourage and ask me to be who I am. And there's no greater gift than that. And so if being myself is at the cost of losing that relationship with my mother, I will say early on I hated it, but at this point, now that I can see what I've gained, I'm okay with that. I don't love it. Be very clear, multiple truths get to coexist. I don't love it, but I'm at peace with it.
I told my mom that.
Mm.
I told her that, Mommy, y'all done already lived, or y'all are living.
Yes.
I gotta live.
They live their life.
And you know God, and I know God too. And I know the God that knows me.
Yes.
The God that knows you is the God that knows you. The God that knows me knows me.
Yes.
I hope it's the same God, but I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to walk out in the wilderness to find yourself and let everybody else because everybody else had to do it. Or some people are afraid to walk in the wilderness to find themselves. And so they turn to, and this is no bash on anybody's belief, but they turn to religion or God, to comfort them because they don't know how to, or they're afraid to walk out there in that wilderness.
Yes, 1,000%. We don't talk about it, but religion gives us comfort from the unknown, because when we don't know what's going on or understand what's going on, or something random happens, a lot of this has to do with death. We don't know how to explain that. And so, religion oftentimes gives us a comfortable place to land. And I think it's beautiful when it does that. But there's also versions of it and pieces of it that try to shackle people and keep people in their boxes. And I refuse to be shackled. I refuse to be kept in a box. I believe that the God that loves me, source, loves me as I am, made me who I am.
Exactly.
So that's who I'm afraid to. And the one over here, which we can get into, the colonizer God, that's not mine, babe. The homophobic, transphobic, racist colonizer God, that's not mine.
I don't know him.
I don't know him at all.
I don't know him.
My God, and I said this in the Big Mouth room where we had a long conversation about God. I said, my God is a Black woman. Quite honestly, she's a Black trans woman. Like that's my God, okay? And that's period. Trust and believe, okay?
I am a God-anointed queen.
Period, okay? So y'all can have your little straight white man who, keeps you in your boxes. That's not for me. And again, this is a very blanket statement. Everyone has their own relationship to whoever their God is, and I respect that. But when hate comes out of it, when there's hate and there's judgment,
and
division, that's the worst of church to me. I think the best of church is community, is congregation. The best of religion brings us together. The best of religion says, hey, I love you as you are and I'm here for you. But the rest of it, nah, take it.
People are going to have to pay atonement to God on the great day. Whatever day that is.
However
but
it comes.
But the great day, they're going to have to pay atonement to God, because I believe that when they stand before whoever their creator is, and they find out that the creator created everything.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah. That's how I feel about my grandmother. My grandmother passed away 15 years ago, and I wrote this in my book. Talk my shit, I'm also an author. But I said, I in my fantasy, my grandmother, wherever she is, can see that whatever beliefs she might have held, if she held them about homosexuality, was wrong, And my grandmother, by the way, was always very loving and kind in that space. My mother is doing a thing that's quite weird for us, for our lineage. But I do believe that if they weren't able to see it while they were on the earthly plane, wherever they are on the spiritual plane, they get it. They get it. They see it and they love you. And they understand that they were wrong or had misunderstandings because, the indoctrination is deep. You are raised from jump. People are told from babies, right, that this is the way, this is wrong. Girls like pink, boys like blue. There's none of this. They're told that from the jump, and it's really hard to break that if somebody doesn't interrupt that pattern for you. And so I believe that in the spiritual plane, everyone knows the truth. And the truth is, as you are divinely made, and you are perfect exactly as you are. And your God
anointed
loves
queen.
you. Come on. God loves the queens.
So I'd like to move to this section of my show where we call it Rebel with the Cause, because this is a perfect way to segue into this. Now, this show is called Outlaws for a reason. An outlaw or a pariah in our culture is often someone who ironically has their heart in the right place, someone with the courage to speak up and stand out and push back when it matters the most. Now, the guests on my show, the Outlaws, are some of the most prominent voices of our time. They are rebel hearts with challenging and status quo that make a difference in the world. Now, Brandon, tell me about a cause that you care deeply about and what drives your passion, and how can others join the movement?
My cause that I care deeply about is humanity and liberation. And I always say messy, but like the question that opens my book and that I pose on the internet and I post to anyone is, who would I be if society never got its hands on me? Who would I be if society never got its hands on me? That is, if I can boil my cause down to one sentence, one question, that's it, is spreading that gospel. I want people to ask themselves that question. Who would you be if society never got its hands on you? What would you love? What would you wear? Where would you live? Who would you be in relationship with? Who would you be in community with? We are told all these shoulds. You should do this. You should look like this. You got to have it. All this stuff we get told, and meanwhile, people are profiting off of that, right? The beauty industry is a beautiful example of that. They'll tell you everything that's wrong with you so that you buy something from them. And so people are looking in the mirror, hating themselves, hating what they look like, hating their bodies, hating their skin, hating, when on the TikTok, when I went down a little rabbit hole of the most beautiful dark-skinned people bleaching their skin. And it's like, why? Why are you bleaching your skin? Where'd you get that from? Somebody put that on you. That is not yours. And so the cause that I have is liberating people to themselves, telling them to be messy, to embrace the mess. Okay, messy is human. Okay, stop trying to be perfect, Polly. This is your first time doing life. You are not going to get it right. Okay, this is my first time being 37. I'm not going to get this thing right, but I can experience it and I can do it the best I can. If I rupture a relationship or something, I can repair it. But allow me to be free. Allow me to because these videos of these elders who are like in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and what they all say, I love those videos, but what they all say, what they wish they could go back is, they wish they didn't listen to that person. They wish they did that thing. They wish they allowed themselves to explore it's all these wishes of things they were told they should do that they wish they just like said fuck it and were themselves. And I don't want to wait till I'm 90 to like finally be like, I'll do what the fuck I want. I want to do that as soon as possible. So liberate yourself. Who would I be if society never got its hands on you? Ask yourself that question curiously, gently, and then get about the business of doing that. You might not be able to change everything, but baby, if you discover that you're in a male body and you desire to wear heels, then fucking put them heels on, baby.
Honey, put on you a boot.
Put on a boot, okay? Get you a nice little boot, okay?
Honey, get you, and if you can't handle a boot, get you a kitten.
Get you a kitten.
Get you a nice kitten.
A nice little meow, honey. What are the things that you want to do? What are the things you wanna
I got a nice little kitten right now. I got a cute little glass kitten.
Cute little glass kitten, okay?
Cute little kitten right now.
That's a little Cinderella kitten. I love that.
I didn't want to be all heightened up. I wanted to be comfortable,
girl. Exactly.
Comfortable in my skin.
Yes, you better come over,
cozy with who I am.
Yes, period. Yeah, that's the cause. The cause is liberating myself and helping others liberate themselves, because we got to get free. As we can see in this climate, they are trying to shackle us. They are trying to put us in our boxes. And the most important thing you can do for your life is get curious. Ask yourself those hard questions and find out the answers and get free as soon as you can.
All right. Now, we're here at my favorite part of the show.
Oh, okay.
And it is called Ban It, Bitch. Now, some people out here are banning drag shows, LGBTQIA books, and even our very existence. But today, we are flipping the script. What's something you would ban if you ran the world?
Oh, I was thinking about this.
Wait, here you go.
Ahead, sorry.
Here's how it works.
Okay, tell me.
We both each get 1 minute.
Work. Okay.
Okay, to make our case for what needs to go. Let me kick it off to show you how it's done.
Please.
I want to ban people who are in the way of people living their lives. Completely. Yes. I just want to ban a bit. I want to ban you. Bitch, if my existence is bothering you to the point where you are sick and tired of seeing me, close your eyes for good.
Ooh.
I just want to ban you. This world was not built and designed specifically and intricately, specifically for you. We were given this place for all of us to coexist. And if you don't want to coexist with something that don't look like you, isn't built like you, isn't shaped like you, isn't beautiful or ugly like you, girl, I want to ban you. I want you to get on the first rocket ship to Mars.
Yes.
And crash land that bitch on the moon and stay there.
Yes.
And truly see what it's like to live somewhere, honey, alone. Because that's where you need to be alone.
Yes.
Bitch, I'm banning you. Bitch, you're banned.
Yes.
I ban it.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely. I agree. Ditto.
Now, okay. Now that's my minute, and I said what I said.
Period.
Ban it, bitch.
Ban it, bitch.
Okay. All right, now producers, Brandon, you have the floor.
Okay, yes.
Reset the timer for 1 minute.
You will
Brandon,
come in? All right, gorge.
Brandon, your time starts in.
I would like to ban people who clip their nails in public, because what kind of fresh hell is this? What kind of demonic ceremonial practice is that? That is a private activity, like shaving your pubes or belting Defying Gravity when you know you can't sing. That's for private. I hate people clipping their nails in public, and you've seen it as much as I hate a straight, white, unqualified man succeed. I don't like to see it, okay? And I really think, it makes me sick. It makes my blood boil. I feel like, and they be clipping it, and it sounds like crickets masturbating, or it sounds like Keebler elves fucking in a little tree. I don't like to hear it. I don't like to see it. People do it on the subway. They do it in the waiting room of the urgent care, and I'm already sick as it is. They got the nail shards flying around like a frisbee, hitting you in the side of the face like a straight bullet. I do not like it. Ban clipping your nails in public. I want you to clip your nails because please don't be cutting up our pussies, but please do not cut it in public. That shit is crazy to me. Y'all, find another devil to worship. Find another devil to worship. Please ban it, bitch.
That's it. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I had to get off my chest. Lord.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Go ahead.
So it seems like that you've had a trauma.
I don't like it. People, I grew up in New York, and so people on the subway always trying to clip, that's the time they decide to clip their nails. And when you clip it, they fly. So it's not like going in a little paper. It's just like it flies, and you're like,
have you seen them
nasty?
Have you seen them doing their toenails?
Yes, I have, and that's crazier to me. They flip flops, and they put the leg up like this, and then just like that. What is that? You got to be real confident for that, and I want to fight.
I hear a lot of trauma going on.
It really fucks me up. I don't know what it is. That and soup. Please don't serve me soup. That's crazy. I want a full meal. Don't you do that to me. Don't you invite me over to your house for some soup. Invite me over for a meal. I want you to put something in that. Okay?
What about soup and sandwich?
Okay, work. That's fine.
But there needs to be something else.
Something else. The soup and the salad, go fuck yourself. What you talking about? Lettuce and broth? Girl, yeah. I like gravy just as much as the next bitch, but no.
Well, I mean, they might be preparing you for something later.
Oh, Well, in that case, prepare me.
A clean sweep.
In that case, prepare me, doll.
Pure
As
for
long as there's
non-binary.
meat, as long as I'm getting meat, yes.
Pure for you know how there's pure for men, pure for women, pure for non-binary. Soup, broth. So for me, the bandit part for me, I'm just where we are now, listening to your story.
Yeah.
My story running parallel with yours, and then watching how our society is governed or trying to be governed by people who just, I don't want to look at anything else but what looks like me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to walk and live in a bland world?
So boring. So boring. I love. Go ahead.
In a colorless world.
Boring. Boring.
You need the rainbow, honey.
Come on, give me the full rainbow. I want other cultures, other experiences. That's how life is so beautiful and massive and complex. And for me to just be around people who look and think like, that's just crazy. I want the expansion. I want the other experiences. I want to know your walk of life. It grows my heart. It grows my existence. And I hope that my existence grows yours. But this let's keep everything the same. Y'all are bored and you're scared and you belong on that rocket ship to Mars.
And let it crash land on the moon.
And on the moon.
Don't even make it to Mars.
Because you don't deserve to make it to where you need
don't
to
even
get
to. Don't even make it there. Just crash land on the damn moon. Oh my God.
One of them craters, honey. Yes.
Just live there, girl.
Live there, girl.
Yes. You'll be
the same.
You'll be rushing trying to get back to Earth. Like, wait a minute, I'm okay with those drag queens. Where are those trainees?
Wait now. No queens put on a good show.
Honey, where are those trainees? Wait a minute, my skin is breaking out. Is somebody going to make a new cream?
Come on. Okay.
We need each other.
We need each other. Yes.
Yes. Friend, I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you, love you, love you. When you are in Atlanta.
Come on. I'm coming to see you first as soon as I'm there, baby.
And sit at the house.
Yeah.
My Christian mother, you're welcome there.
I love your mother.
She ain't gonna beat you down about about the book. She gonna cook you something. It might be a soup on the side.
But listen, if it's for mama, I'll have it.
But well, then you're in Atlanta, so I'll tell her mama, they need broth.
Yeah.
they're poly and they're visiting.
Not they're poly and visiting. Give them a broth.
They need broth. They may have an active weekend.
Pure for non-binary, yes.
Pure for the non-binary. I love you, friend. I love you so much. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Of course, always.
You are amazing. You're the best. Kisses, and you're still the sexiest Caribbean non-binary, polyamorous, polyurethane person that I know. I love you.
Give me my cracker, okay? I love you.
Did we do it?
Did we do it?
We did it.